In this video, I'm talking with WolverThor about update 2.4. Captain Marvel, Kree Rework, Ultimus 7. We're talking about all of that and more. You know the drill, guys. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. I am joined by my main man, WolverThor. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I am doing good. I'm liking so far what I'm seeing in update 2.4. That's what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about update 2.4. A lot of different changes, a lot of things going on with this update. We're gonna cover most of it. We're actually gonna go a little more into detail and just Captain Marvel on your channel. How do you feel about this update overall? What are your initial impressions? Thumbs down, thumbs up?
I mean, the characters and the updates to the characters, I'm liking it. Especially, Minerva, Captain Marvel. I think it's, kind of a different approach to adding new characters to the game as opposed to they're definitely not stale. They've got a lot of things going on with them. There's a lot of different aspects of it. They're very dynamic, and you really got to look at their kits to figure out, like, wait, what does that do? What is this? Hold on, I got to think about this, and it also does that. And when you've got to do that for a new character, that it shows that there's a lot of stuff going on.
Took us a little while to figure out what Captain Marvel is all about, and that kind of segues into what we're talking about. Before I get into that, I do want to remind you guys I am playing on BlueStacks, but let's get into this update real quick. Captain Marvel, it's a new character. I know we're going to talk about it very much in depth on your channel. What are some quick thoughts on Captain Marvel?
Well, I dare I say game changing with her. God tier. She seems like she is going to be a high end meta character where you're gonna need her. She's got a lot of things going for her. A new dynamic in the game where it's got a certain form that you can potentially stay within. It's called binary.
Yes.
And if you can keep those charges up and she hits the team outside of using whatever ability she's using, she also hits the other team for, what was it, 120
I think 120
damage?
at passive level 4.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's on top of everything else she's already doing, so it's...
As an AoE as well, so
yeah.
I definitely would agree with you, God tier. There's some complexity with her kit, so we're gonna get into it, but I'd really want to see the cooldown on her binary skill, because since she's not an available character, it's not unlocked yet, MSF.GG doesn't have everything data mined. Very curious to see what that is. I'm guessing it's going to be a turn 2 or turn 3 move, just so you could kind of build up these charges. Teams that I want to try her in is a kind of military team with Captain America, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Iron Man, War Machine. I think that will be a very fun team to try. The other one I want to try her in is a brawler team, a hybrid brawler team. Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Gamora. Definitely want to put Okoye whenever she gets released, but I think War Machine in that last spot to give her that extra charge for that military. Definitely a team I want to try out. All right, let's move on though, because I don't want to talk too much about her.
Yeah.
We're gonna go in depth on your channel, but Minerva, the other character in this update, I'm liking the characters that they've released so far this year. What are your initial thoughts on Minerva?
You got to start talking about Minerva with her ultimate. That ultimate checks so many different boxes. You're stealing health from the enemy, you're giving it to your team, you're healing your team, you're giving regen to your team, you're bleeding the other team, and you're also applying deflect to all your Kree allies. And what's it do? Ignore
it bypasses the heal block!
Exactly.
So, Mordo, screw you, dude. Captain Minerva says, no, get out of here. So, very strong ultimate. Her kit screams raids to me.
Yeah.
Very, very strong raid character. Lots of heals. Pretty much a heal on every one of her moves. Her basic, her special, her ultimate, and then her passive as well. So, very, very strong. Let's talk about her special real quick. Reminds me of that Book of Vishanti. What do you think of her special?
Yeah, that Doctor Strange revive slash heal. You know, the heal portion of it is slightly smaller depending on the percent HP that she's got, or her max HP. But the big difference there is that whoever she revives gets 2 death proofs. So
that's
not only
huge. That is don't gloss over that. That is huge. That in my mind makes it way better than Doctor Strange's Book of Vishanti.
And I agree, because you think about that, and you mentioned it, is almost every one of her abilities has a heal. So she's going to revive somebody to 40% and give them 2 death proofs. And then the next time she does one of her moves, she's more than likely going to heal that same person again. So it's essentially bringing someone back to life completely. You know, and it's like,
plus she's on a Kree team where they're supposed to be giving energy out with Ronin on there, giving heals with that as well. Could bring them back to max health pretty quickly if everything works out right in that battle.
I agree with you. I absolutely. She could be critical for that Kree team that you've got.
Yes. What else do you think of her basic is okay. Gives some regeneration, bleeds, okay damage. Let's talk about her passive though, because that is interesting.
Yeah, and it splits between the ally death versus enemy death, and you had mentioned Thanos and kind of pairing her up with him as far as those enemy deaths, pumping out the energy, and so every enemy death she'll heal the most injured ally for 15%. Yes. So that could be, if you kill 3, all of a sudden that person gets 45% HP back.
That is level 4 on the passive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing on ally death, think about this. You're gonna want to pair her with Ronin. He's summoning minions. They're gonna die pretty quick. She's gonna get some speed bar and be able to heal quicker.
You know what? That's a good point. That those summons, those going down and pumping up the speed bar, 40% every time those 2 minions go down.
Yep.
That'd be pretty nice.
Looking good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here's the next question. Are you investing in her before this event comes out?
I've thought about it. I've tried to stop spending in the game. I broke down a little bit for Carnage.
I did too. I'm hanging my head in shame because I didn't want to. But.
Yeah, and the truth is the only reason that I won't is because I also don't have enough gold and resources to get her to a level where I think I can actually put her with who I want to. So I might have to just hold off because I can't really get her to that level 65, 33, 35k range. So
for me, more important than the strike is I don't know how much I'm going to use her right off the bat. I can't build her up to make her make a big dent in raids. So, in Blitz she'll be fine because everybody's pretty leveled low. And your opponents are based on your power that you're going in with. But in the raids, man, Ultimus 7 coming out, which we will talk about in a little bit. These alpha raids, these beta raids, these gamma raids. We run them on a high level. She's not going to do too much. Maybe on the first node or something, unless you really built her up. So I'm waiting. That's why I'm waiting as well.
I think that's smart, honestly.
All right. Which leads into our next segue. Ultimus 7 raid coming soon. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't want to say just recently, but maybe in the last month and a half, 2 months max, we've started feeling like we're farming Ultimate 6 a little bit, where it's like, okay, this is a little bit easier. We can get 100% no problem every time, but it's still not super easy. You can't just auto it. I remember in Ultimus 5, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm autoing this, and you felt good. You're like, all right, I'm sick of Ultimus 5. I've been autoing this thing for 3 weeks. And you were ready for something new. And me personally, in my alliance, we're not there. I'm like, I want more Ultimus 6 where I can just get to the point where I'm easily farming this and not feel like I'm banging my head against the wall every time I join a raid.
Yeah, again, for me, I've mentioned it so many times before, is time. I know there's a lot of people that can auto Ultimus 6. My roster's not at that point yet. So having a new raid, spending more time in the game, I'm not a fan of this. This is the first big thumbs down for me for this in this 2019. Ultimus 7, I'm not looking forward to this, especially with the Alliance War coming up, supposedly in this update.
And honestly, that's and I don't want to tangent things too much here, but between Alliance War and Ultimus 7, I have this same concern you do, is just time. And I think you mentioned it in a video yesterday where it would be nice if when they do add these, they switch Blitz back to maybe a 6-hour cooldown, because you take away the time that you maybe were spending towards Blitz in theory, and you can put it somewhere else. Because if you really look at how much time you're spending in game on this particular game or on your phone in this game, it's probably pretty scary for most people. It's like,
I don't want to add it up. I added up Blitz one time. I'm like, oh my God, is that how much time I'm spending on Blitz? With the raids, with all this other stuff, I don't want to add it up right now.
It's an iPhone can do it automatically for you, so don't look at, if you're really concerned about that. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go through this real quick. Dynamic camera, cool. It wasn't a big concern for me. Characters, the Kree. Now, supposedly, you're going to be able to make it to the end of the race, no problem with these Kree.
Game over.
Game over. What are your thoughts on this Kree rework so far? I know you've played with them a little. Have you tried them in raids?
I have not tried that. Well, I haven't tried the rework in raids. I will try them in the new Alpha 4 tonight. Mine are only around 130K, so I got to build them up a little bit.
They're a little less than yours. And man, I was not able to make it to the raids, no problem, on Ultimus 6. So imagine when Ultimus 7 comes out. I don't even want to try them in Gamma, because
look, they're going to be. I promise
we're in Alpha right now. We're in Alpha. I don't want to try them in Alpha yet.
You're going to get to you're going to finish these easy, no problem.
Easy,
I promise.
Easy. All right, Ronin. He's probably the biggest effect as far as rework. Big thing. His speed went up from 90 from 65.
Yep.
He's still slow, but he's not the slowest character in the game. What else? He now summons. The biggest rework was to his special. Still has the same name, but now it's summons instead of heals.
Yeah.
Looks good. We talked about that a little bit. I mean, we've covered their kit. These reworks. Any highlights of these reworks for you?
Yeah, I mean, sticking with Ronin for a second, I think it's about as passive. Just when some energy flies around, I think he's talking about speeding people up, getting some heals out there. So depending on how much that energy flies, that could be nice. In my limited Blitz experience with it, I didn't see it procking all that much, which was a little unfortunate. So I don't know if it'll be as good as I was hoping. They had 2 ability blocks, great. Like you said, you mentioned the summons. To me, the rest of the Kree, I think one of the biggest things to mention is the Kree Royal Guard, that defense up when he taunts to all the allies. It's kind of a borderline Luke Cage type taunt.
Yes. Now, while taunting, he does have a chance to generate ability energy for Kree allies.
True.
When he's attacked. So that is a good upgrade for the Kree Royal Guard.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've used them in Blitz. They have tier 8. They are pretty good. You've had a little different experience in your Blitz, correct?
Yeah, one of them, it was tier 8. It was a 8.3 battle against a ragtag group of, enemies, which was, a Yondu, a Wolverine, or just Ant-Man, maybe, I don't remember. It was throwaway. And I lost. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I was expecting this to be a little bit of a easy button. Maybe not that easy, but I didn't expect it to be hard. And it was, and the next time I did do it, I shifted my strategy slightly and was able to win. So I'm still a little skeptical. I haven't dumped all my my T3 purple mats into all of the upgrades yet, but they definitely don't suck anymore. That's for sure.
They don't suck. They still are very slow, and I think that's what holds them back. And their energy distribution, most of it is on a chance. 50%, 60%, 70%. One of them has 100%, but it's not as much as I would think. And you're right, they're not that easy button that Shield was, that Brotherhood was, that Defenders were, that you could just, depending on who you're facing, you could just hit auto right at the start of the battle, of a Blitz battle, and win.
And you know what? And jumping back to that speed thing for a second, you're actually right. That Cyborg was slow. So unless they bumped up that speed, he was at like 79. So that could be very interesting. If they're still slow, that could be problematic.
They're a little slow. That's why I don't think that energy flies around as much. Plus, a lot of that is chance that it happens. So
RNG.
I do want to test them a little more before I give my final conclusion of them, but definitely better. Definitely, for me at least, I like them in Blitz, and I think once they are fully built with Minerva and you build them up, I think they'll be a good raid team. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to the end, no problem, though. So.
You know what? I've been told, so I believe it. I think it's going to happen. It
must be true, right?
It's got to be true.
All right, so last major thing in this update, Magneto. He got a little bit of a bump, and not as much as if it was on his ultimate, but it is on his special. They've increased the range of his damage blind, not just primary and adjacent targets, but primary and targets within 2 spaces. So
yes,
more blind, more damage, and just makes him a little more effective and effective against that Drax team. Because sometimes that Drax team at the end screws up that Brotherhood.
Yeah, you're seeing that in arena a lot, where it was just
defense,
you throw and I did it. You throw a Drax off to the side, and you leave someone off on the opposite corner, and they don't get blinded. So I was using Pyro because mine's a 50k Pyro, and so his special would be used on defense immediately, and it hit whoever it needed to hit as opposed to missing. So it was a tough go there when they upgraded that. I get it, but it hurt me a little bit on the arena.
Well, you've been hurt by that. You're also going to be hurt a little bit by this because his passive got upgraded. Instead of 15%, he's giving 30% extra health to Brotherhood allies. So Pyro, he's not going to be dying as quickly. Still probably dying quickly, but not as quickly as before. So
true.
That's pretty much it. Oh, and these bug fixes that were mentioned here, I think the biggest one for me is in Blitz. When you complete your first match of Blitz, Tier 1 displays correctly. I know for the longest time, you win that first battle, it says you're in Tier 2. Very confusing for people.
Yeah.
But, bunch of other bug fixes, but at least for me, that's the most important one.
Totally agreed. Yeah, I saw that one and kind of laughed. I'm like, finally.
Yeah. What did we notice? 6 months ago or so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of those things just linger, and it's like, are they going to fix that? All right, whatever.
One day.
Just get used to it.
One day.
Yeah.
All right, but that's about it, except for Captain Marvel. We're going to talk about that in your channel, because it probably will be a lot more complicated than some of this other stuff. All in all, though, I don't like the Ultimus 7 coming. Like I said, the further they delay that, the better. Alliance Wars, I think, has the potential to be very good. They've obviously invested a lot of resources into this, and hopefully it's good by the time it comes out. But those are the other things that are in this. Again, how would you rate this update? Scale of 1 to 10.
I was hoping you were going to ask me 1 to 10, and I was thinking around an 8, honestly, before you even said 1 to 10. So I was like, if you ask me 1 to 10, I think I'm around an 8. Maybe 8.5-ish. I really like the characters. There's a huge asterisk to that based on Ultimus 7 and obviously Alliance Wars, which is to come. But right now, I think it's on the high, 8 to 9 range. It's definitely, I'm liking the characters they put in there and some of the upgrades of the Kree.
I'm a little lower on it than you. I still would give it an overall favorable. The Ultimus 7 and Alliance Wars does worry me. I think it could be some problems. So I give it a 7. I do like Captain Marvel. I do like Minerva. And I do like this Kree rework. Could have been stronger, but it's fine because there are minions, so they don't need to be overpowered in the game. They don't need to be strong as Captain Marvel.
You can't have too many meta minion teams out there.
No, they should be meta Avengers. But anyway.
Yes, please.
All right, so guys, check out that Captain Marvel video that we're about to shoot right after this on WolverThor's channel. Anything else you want to promote before we finish this video up?
Just if you guys got any questions, guides, just general kind of analysis of the game, feel free to stop on my channel and keep supporting your boy Valley as well. You're putting out good stuff.
Yes, so thank you for coming on again. Very fun last time we did it. Got a really good reception, so hopefully you guys like this one as well. If you did like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Smash on that like button and join the notification squad. Let me know what you think of this update. Leave a comment down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where do you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I mentioned BlueStacks before. There's a link to that down below. There's a link to Patreon as well. And if you want to chat, I'm normally on Discord, but I also have Facebook, Twitter. Check all that stuff out. All that is in the description down below. I will see you guys next time. WolverThor, before you go, I do want to remind you of something.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I want to remind you to do your training, say your prayers, and take your vitamins, dude. I'll see you next time. ValleyFlyin, out.